G'day guys, welcome to today's Aussie Adventure. Today I'm just going to do a bit of a rig rundown on what we've done to the D-Max to get it where she is at the moment. It's a weapon of a car. It does have its faults though that we've found out on the tracks, and I'll run through them with you. But first we'll start off with what we actually did to the car first, and everything we've done to it, all the way from protection all the way through to the 12-volt system. So let's take a look, shall we? So yeah, one of the first things we did with the D-Max is we took it to Port Prestige Coatings and we got the whole underbody Raptor sprayed. We also had a ceramic coating put on. That was the first thing we did. Like, this car had not even seen 6 kilometers on it, and it was straight down getting that done. The ceramic coating is really good. It doesn't stop scratches, however it does make cleaning your car a lot easier. I do recommend it to get a ceramic coating done. However, if you're going to do the sort of four-wheel drive and we do, I think maybe a vinyl wrap would probably be a better option. However, I still reckon it'll some of that lantana and stuff you find will get through the vinyl wrap. So that's one of the first two things we done to the car. The second thing we did to the car is we had a suspension upgrade with a 2-inch lift. It's a XRS suspension, I think it is, but it's the TJM one. So it's a 2-inch lift. We got the tyres we matched it up with were our BF Goodrich KO2. They're 265/70 by R17. Look, the tyres are pretty good. They're quite aggressive for a all-terrain tyre. Personally, I don't think you need anything more than that. Then again, you know, it probably wouldn't help to have even more aggressive tyres, but then, yeah, that's another story. Right, so that's the lift and the tyres, and the next thing we got done was the bar work. So what we got done was we got the TJM Outback Bull Bar. It's kitted out with a 9,500 pound winch, as you can see in here. We also got the light bar installed. We got the modular scrub bars down to the modular side steps, and we got the Heyman Reese rear tub protection bar / towing, and you know, yeah, the Heyman Reese stuff. We've also got the Red Arc Tow Pro Elite on there too for when we do finally get a camper trailer. So that's the bar work taken care of. Obviously, we've got our UHF permanently installed, which is a GME. That's the XRS. The light bar is a Steel light bar. I haven't used it yet, but apparently they're like daylight. We'll just have a little look under the car. As you can see, we have had our aftermarket bash plates installed, and as you can see, there's a little bit of damage done to them. What we also had installed was a catch can and a pre-filter. It's a Direction Plus catch can and pre-filter. This is, you know, a bit of protection that I think it's worth its weight in gold. A little bit of bad fuel or a little bit of water when you're doing a crossing, come through your breathers or through your petrol tank breather, you could end up in thousands of dollars worth of damage, and that's under $1,000 to get done. So highly recommend that if you've got a diesel. All right, let's move on. Oh, and by the way, there's the isolation switch for the winch, which got a good workout when we went into Jolly Nose. All right, let's move on. Okay, we've also had the snorkel, aftermarket snorkel fitted. We've made sure that seems to be all pretty airtight and sealed well. We'll wait and see when we do a proper river crossing. The deepest thing this been through at the moment, which I don't really have on film, was sort of been up just above the door sills, I suppose. No water come in, so that was good. It was flowing a little bit, but anyways, that's until we go through a deeper crossing. Yeah, I suppose that's when the proof will be told about how the snorkel works. Right, externally moving on, we've had 2 sets of Rhino base racks installed, one over the cab and one over the tub. Now the one over the tub is reinforced. I'll show you the reinforcement in a minute, but we'll stick with what I've done and with the front roof rack. Now the front roof rack obviously holds my treads, and it also holds my my 200 watt permanently fixed solar panel. The rear rack holds my shovel, obviously, and I've also got tie down rings, so when we want to put our swags on top we can do that. We've also got the Darche 270-degree awning. You can see how it's mounted there. I'm not going to say it won't go anywhere. When you've been on some of the tracks I've been on, mate, oh, tell you what, I'm surprised it's still on there. But that's the Darche 270-degree awning. It's a ripper of an awning. We've given it a good workout on a camping trip. None of that's been filmed, but again, we will be filming things like that in the near future. What else is there that I've done to it? Okay, I think that's all the external stuff. We've done the protection, we've done the tyres, we've done the suspension. Oh, that's another thing that I've done actually, is we got a long range. One of the things I've done is I've got a Hayman Reese long range fuel tank in that holds 145 litres. It's a steel aluminium composite, and I had it Raptor coated too, and I'm glad I did. As you'll probably see, she's bottomed out a couple of times already, and it just adds that little bit of extra protection. So that's all the external stuff, I think. We'll take a look at the 12-volt system now. As I was saying before, the roof racks over the tub are reinforced. No, they're not roll bars. They're reinforcement for the roof racks on top, which means I can carry my 150 kilos. Now obviously with roof racks and all those things, be very, very aware that when you do go off-road, yeah, the rating actually comes down quite significantly. Now I'm not going to do the math on it and tell you exactly how much it is. Okay, it's a 12-volt system. So what we have here is, I had to make this battery box up myself because nobody makes them to hold 200 amp hour lithium deep cycle batteries. So that's a 200 amp hour lithium. It's a prismatic cell. As you can see, I've got the Enerdrive 2000 watt inverter in there, absolute winner. I've got the Enerdrive battery monitoring system here, and you can see how much your ampage wattage has been drawn and put in, and you know how many hours you've got left and how many volts you're running at. Behind here you can see the Redarc BCDC 50 amp battery charger. And what I've also done is I've had a permanent solar, obviously that's from the permanent solar roof, on the roof. It's the permanent one. I've also got a one that splits off to a wire that can take the 200 watt solar blanket that's sitting in behind the toolboxes there. I've got a 12-volt out for, say, a travel buddy or something along those lines. I've got my fridge socket, and I've also got my air compressor plug here, which, you know, just makes it so much easier just to plug it in and away you go. The fridge itself is a Dometic 75 litre dual zone. It's actually very, very efficient. Now, as with most things, if we're actually using the fridge, we'll use a 240 volt in the house first and get it down to temperature, then plug it in, and it really does just sip away. Like, it's just really, really efficient. Longevity wise, we'll wait and see. Some of the trucks we've been taken on, mate, I don't think a lot of things are going to last forever, but we'll see. And there's obviously, it's just a cheap compressor, but it works for now, and it's quite fast, so that's pretty good. Also everything is fused. Obviously that's the fuse for the inverter, and then we've got our air compressor fuse and just our general DC output fuses, which are these ones here, and it's also fused, it's like double fused actually, in the back there as well. So that's our 12-volt system, guys. I think I've covered everything there, and it's all really nice and neatly done. Now I will say this, guys, TJ done everything to this car. They completely kitted it out. Now, it's been done for a while now. We're one of the first people outside of the professional community that actually had their D-Max completely kitted out. But we've been doing shakedown trips and getting to learn the car. Now, is there things with the D-Max that I don't like? Yes, there is, and I'll explain them to you. One of the first things is the rear locker. Now, rear lockers are great. They are really good and it works well. But when you get on like some really steep loose stuff and you need to give it a little bit of stick, that rear locker disengages itself once. I think I was reading somewhere it's about 30 kilometers an hour. Now, you might not be traveling at 30 kilometers an hour, or maybe I've got a problem with it. I have taken it back to Isuzu. They've looked at it and said there's nothing wrong with it. And I go, well, it keeps disengaging. Now, we were doing the Powerlines track and I'd engage my locker, everything would be fine and dandy. I'd get halfway and my wheels would start spinning, and as soon as that started happening, the locker would disengage, and it's like, what's going on here? Now, I'm not doing 30 kilometers an hour, I'm going up a hill. I'm going up a hill like this, and it's just loose, and the tyres are spinning. Maybe the tyres are doing 30 kilometers an hour and it's disengaging. That's a real problem. Not only that, when you got the locker, the traction control comes off. Now, I can understand why it comes off, because, you know, the car's trying to brake individual wheels as they're spinning. However, when you put the locker on, you know, obviously you can't have that on, but you should be able to still have some sort of traction control in the front end. Now, we've got some big wheel lifts going when we were in Jolly Nose the other day, and yeah, and then I'd have to stop, I'd have to go back, put the locker in, give it another go, and it just kept disengaging. Now, yeah, so I think that's a problem with them. What else don't I like about it? It's not much I don't like about it. I think it's a very, very capable vehicle. It's just a couple of those niggling little things that are sort of annoying, and yeah, when things disengage, it makes it hard. It really does. It's like, oh, you know, here we go again, another go. All right, so that's that. Anyways, also I'm just going to show you some of the tracks we've been doing now. Like I said, we picked a silver coloured car, a lighter coloured car. The scratches don't show as much. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but we've got some pretty good pinstriping going on. As you can probably see here, there's quite a bit of pinstriping here. Our scrub bars have got some nice little dings and things in them, so they're showing that it's been getting used. And check out that one, guys. Oh, that's actually from Jolly Nose the other day. Oh, a little bit of from Bago as well, but yeah. If you didn't have those modular side steps, or say rock sliders, yeah, you'd have crushed sills. But yeah, very good to have all the protection. Yeah, the winch has been used too, so I know it works. Everything works. Look, a big shout out to Jordan and Lucas and the boys at TJM in Port Macquarie for decking me out completely. And a big shout out to Port Prestige Coatings for doing all my Raptor work and my ceramic coating. Anyways, guys, see you on the next adventure, and we'll see where else this bad girl can go. Thanks, guys.